So, my name's Tony Walker and I am the narrator of the Classic Ghost Stories podcast. YouTube suggests that I need to have a trailer for the podcast, or it says it will be helpful. So I thought, I got my camera out, and I've been a bit shy of appearing on camera for all sorts of vanity reasons. I haven't had a haircut for 4 months, for one thing. So I've been doing a podcast called the Classic Ghost Stories podcast, which you can listen on Apple or Spotify or Overcast or any of the apps. And there are links from the YouTube channel. But I've been doing that for about 18 months now. And I started it because I had a great idea, you see. I thought that I write ghost stories and things like that and do live storytelling events. And I thought, I will build up an audience. This is what they tell you to do, you know. If you're an author, you know, promote yourself. You need to promote yourself. So what I would do would be start this podcast, Classic Ghost Stories. And I would read other people's podcasts and I would create an audience. And then I would sneakily go, oh, by the way, have you tried my stories? So that was the plan. And the podcast kind of exploded. And I think as we're going into this summer in the Northern Hemisphere now, what we've got is about 5,000 listens a week. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One is that I've decreased the frequency to every fortnight, every 2 weeks, because I'm doing exclusive material for my patrons who are happily growing. So I need to kind of say thank you to them for their support. I'm currently recording Dracula for the patrons, and that is a big, big book. So it means my podcast has gone down to once every other week. But still, in Halloween, I think, between Halloween and Christmas, we're about 12,000. I think the total, is 16,000 listens a week on the podcast, which was amazing. At the same time, I started a YouTube channel. I put a couple of videos up there. Nothing happened. So, you know, I've been busy writing, recording, going to work, and nothing happened. And then about February, I kind of started getting these notifications. Subscribe. So-and-so has subscribed. You know, Mr. Jackson has subscribed to your YouTube channel. And for some reason, YouTube, the algorithm, had decided to start showing my reading of Bewitched by Edith Wharton to the world, and they liked it, and YouTube went, and it kind of stimulated it to people showing more people and getting them to subscribe. Then I thought, okay, so I had a load of episodes, but I had to make them into videos, and that's a learning process. And so I put them up, and people were liking them, and YouTube was showing them. And then I started putting a few of my own stories up. And I was really getting into it, so I was adding sound effects. When I'd done my own stories for audiobooks, for Audible, I do other people's audiobooks as well. They were just clean. And there are two views to how stories should be heard. And one is a pure reading, and the other is with some kind of atmospheric sound effects, either musical bits or rain and doors opening and things. And I'm having a lot of fun with that at the moment, so I'm editing, spending a lot of time editing my stories. I've also put one of my novels up there, which is called Dark Worlds London, and people seem to like that, but I think it's a different audience. Who knows? This is all very experimental for me. This is all very new. I can't believe it. I think at the moment I'm at 2,700 subscribers. Cannot believe it. So the growth of my YouTube channel has been a mystery to me, but I've got it figured in that it seems that if I kind of just read really good stories and record them nicely, because I quite like to get good sound, and I've got various setup. Yeah, I record some up in my closet actually upstairs, and some I do down here. I've got a really good microphone, etc., etc. I just want to read you stories you want to hear, because seems like an elusive piece of gold that's been dropped in my hand. You know, I really want to keep it going. It's surprised me, and it's paying me to do this, and I'm like, oh, that's good. So I've got all sorts of ideas, but I think that in a nutshell, I seem just to have to read you good stories in a nice way, nicely produced, and we're all happy. Quite extraordinary, isn't it? But anyway, keep listening. And if you've got any friends, and I say this on the podcast, they actually don't need to be your friends. You don't really need to like them. All you need to do is know them and know that they would enjoy the material that we're putting out on the channel, these classic stories, and share it with them. And if you've got any ideas as well, let me know for stories. Now, we've got to remember a thing called copyright. Stephen King, probably... Steve might be okay about it, to be fair, but his lawyers wouldn't be about me reading one of his stories and being paid to read it ultimately through ad revenue, because it's what's called a derivative product. So works that are still in copyright are very difficult without the author's permission. Otherwise, share away. Okay, well, this has been my YouTube trailer. Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you, and if it goes down well, I might do another where I show my face. How about that? Anyway, bye for now.
Everybody dies, don't they? Everybody come back, don't they?